Okay, guys, welcome back to my desk. As you guys could see, I decided to do another video, this time on a third-party Transformer toy. This is MMC's PS-21 Medicus, otherwise known as First Aid. He is one of the Protectobots, and this is MMC's masterpiece style figures, which I decided to go in with their Assaultus combiner, which is technically Bruticus. I do have that whole combiner well put together. All five of those Combaticons were really well made. So I decided to, why not? Let me jump into these Protector bots, and hopefully, my understanding is at some point we will get the whole Defensor, and we'll also get additional ones from what I've seen teasers online. But this is the first one in that line. I just got this a couple of weeks back via Big Bad Toy Store. It did take them a while to get theirs in, so here we are. Anyway, the figure itself is great. The box, it's really nice. It's very bright blue with the figure there in his gun, the name PS-21 Medicus. Obviously they can't use any of the actual official Hasbro or Autobot insignias or branding, etc. But it's pretty cool. There's the actual figure, and here's the toy in the back. As far as accessories, you do get this little baggie in the box, and you get a couple of things in there. You get a little card there with his little background on who this guy is and all his different, I guess, strengths and weaknesses and how he rates there. And there's the card itself, PS-21 Medicus. Personally, I just kind of put these in the box and put them away. But there you go. You also get this little red, I don't know, see-through plastic thing, which I'm assuming it's supposed to go for reading this, and it's supposed to emulate, back in the day, I believe the boxes of the toys in the 80s used to have something like this. So it's a thing you get with that. And then the last thing you get is his gun, which is a nice handgun. It does fold in, and you can also store this in his vehicle mode and in his limb mode. Now, as you can see here in the back of the box, I'll go over this a little bit later on toward the end. First Aid or Medicus, he is the left arm of Defensor. So obviously this is the all-in-one, all built in. So the arms, the hands are part of the robot. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And you also do get some nice instructions. I wish they could make these, at least the pictures, a little bigger. The instructions themselves were pretty clear, at least for me. Just wish the pictures were a little bigger. My eyes are not as good as they used to be. But there you go, PS-21 Medicus Doctor. Cool. And now let's put all this stuff aside and move on to the main figure, which is this guy. I'm going to call him First Aid going forward because that's what I know him as. I know he's not official, so obviously you're not going to get any sort of Autobot insignias. I believe in the toy or the figure, the official one anyway, on the show, he had an insignia here. But you can get, my understanding is, third-party stickers to sort of put them, on your third-party toys. I haven't yet done that. I may do that for this guy. My initial impressions was he looked very plain. So I was like, not disappointed, but just a bit, I guess, like, huh. But in all honesty, after playing with it and seeing it, how well put together this thing is, how he cleans up really well in transformation mode. You guys can see the back. I am very happy with him. And in all honesty, the character of First Aid was very plain to begin with. But I think they, again, third party has done, MMC anyway, has done a great job of making sure this guy has barely any kibble. The back cleans up really well. And again, this is First Aid from that cartoon show. The head, you guys can see it there. It's pretty accurate, really nicely detailed, nothing too crazy. His hands, he does have fully articulated fingers, although they're kind of bent in, sort of like this. They don't straighten out, but you can sort of separate them individually. The thumb also, you can move out, so it looks like that. And the gun here, he can also hold that in place. There is a it fits in kind of like this, and you kind of just close the hand, and he's supposed to hold it in. There we go. Yep. And there you go. You could see he is holding his handgun pretty well in place. There you go. So we'll take this off. As far as articulation, this guy's got all the standard articulation. It's really well done. I mean, you can lift up his arms fully like that. I mean, those joints are part of the transformation, but you could do that. That's a thing. His arms do fully rotate. Shoulders rather. Elbow joint can almost fully like that. The hands do turn. Really cool. And obviously both sides can do the same. He can fully turn around. Some of the windshield here in the back gets in the way, but you can easily move it out of the way, and he could fully turn his waist around. The skirts here, the hip skirts, you can move them out of the way, but his legs could do pretty much a full split, and the legs are fully articulated. There you go. You can also turn them. And you can also slightly move them in, but that's part of the transformation. I don't know if you could tell there. I moved them in. That's for the ambulance and for the arm mode. In robot mode, this should really be all the way pushed out to give him a better stance. Knees, he does have again knees here, almost 90 degrees of knee movement, and the feet here. You do get an ankle tilt. It's sort of again in there. I mean, that's like fully all the way in, but you can get ankle tilt, and he does have like the heels back here that help him. They give him some stability. That's part of the back of the ambulance there. But really cool. As far as this guy could be post up. Oh, and he does have. You can tilt him forward, probably that much, if you need him to look down. I think as far as the postability, this guy's definitely had it. I was taking some nice pictures of this guy, but if you wanted to sort of put him in any sort of action mode, he will definitely look very well sort of like in that mode. So really cool toy. I'm really happy with it. I won't go through a transformation, but we'll look at the vehicle mode and lastly at the arm mode. But I will say, just based on the way this guy has come out, I am really looking forward to the other ones, Hotspot and all the other names that I can't recall during this video. But this is a really well done figure. You guys could see it there. Very happy with it. Very happy with it. Again, MMC, great job. As I said, the only reason why I got this, normally I stick to official toys, but I think for the most part, Takara and Hasbro has opted not to give us masterpiece size or style combiners. I know recently they have done the train bots, so Raiden. So that is really cool. But I wasn't sure how long it would be before they decided to do things like the Protectobots or things like the Combaticons that other companies are doing. They have done a Menasor, but that's in a different line. I did do a video for that one. But as far as masterpiece style, I think, at least for me, in my scale and my collection, MMC is what really fits in with what I'm looking for. And then just real quick, as far as robot comparisons, there he's standing by himself. I figure I stick to the sort of like the first aid type look there. And here's the official Ratchet masterpiece toy, so you guys could see how they look there together. I think that scales pretty well. So there he is with Ratchet. And then again, sticking with the first aid, police, fire mode, here he is next to Red Alert. I do think again that they do fit in really well. This guy's a little boxy, but that's just the style that that they were doing, back then. Takara anyway. This is an official one. but I do think again they go really well together. And then lastly, again, to stay with this theme, I took out here's Inferno. And again, I think that scale works out really well. And even though this is an official toy and this is third party, and I think Inferno too is one of those toys where they started to go a bit more animated, or at least more faithful to the animation rather than toy. I do think these do fit in really well. So I think it'll definitely, this first aid toy could definitely fit in with your official figures there. Really cool. And let me do one last comparison and then we'll sort of move on to the vehicle mode. Okay guys, so one last comparison in vehicle mode, in robot mode. Here is the MMC Assaultus, or Bruticus as I call him. It's got the complete set with the shoes and the chest and everything and the head. And I did a separate video on that one. Maybe I'll link it at the end. But just want to show you guys there. He is about the same size as the other limbs for Bruticus there. So again, makes me very excited to be able to complete the full Defensor mode there. But they do look really nice there together. Okay, people, so here we are back with Medicus, or First Aid, in his alt mode. This is his ambulance mode, again, very G1 there. The transformation itself, initially, obviously, the very first time you do it, it can seem a bit complicated, but once you get used to it, it actually becomes pretty intuitive, and I will say everything kind of plugs into place pretty solidly. There really isn't anything too loose, and everything for the most part lines up. I mean, you could see here the emergency thing, you'd have to push it all the way in to get it pretty lined up. So it's not anything that's too bad, but I will say the transformation itself was very satisfying. As far as the alt mode, I mean, it's pretty reminiscent of Ratchet and Ironhide with their van modes and ambulance modes. This is pretty much what you're going to get. So if you have those toys, or if you're familiar with those modes, it's pretty similar. Yeah, but nothing much else to say. You know, you get a pretty, I guess, for lack of a better word, boring white color, but that's part of the course because that's what he looked like in the cartoon. You know, you get the sirens here, which are pretty cool. You guys could see it, but nothing much else to say. The mode itself is pretty faithful, and it's a good mode. He does roll, although the wheels on mine are a bit stiff. I don't know if they're hitting the fenders here, so they can't really roll too well. He does roll, but you have to push him a little harder than normal, but nothing too bad. As you can see, here's the bottom. Everything kind of folds into place pretty well without much issue. Here's the back. Here's the other side, the roof. But yeah, it's a really nice mode. Again, pretty nice. So I figure since we have him now in his vehicle mode, the closest comparison I could make to was to MP Ratchet. Here's Masterpiece Ratchet. This is the official Takara that I got a while back, so I sort of wanted to show them there. You could see Ratchet's a bit taller in his mode, so he is a bit, I guess, bigger from that perspective. But you know what? I'd say they do fit kind of well there together. As I said, you know, Ratchet is a bit taller, but yeah, nothing too bad there. I think they do go well together. Obviously, it would have been nice to get like clear blue windows or different color windows rather than just painted on like light blue. Maybe something similar to this all around, but I don't know how that would have fared with, you know, a lot of these parts being part of the legs and the body, etc. But there you go. I think they do really go well together. So I just want to make the comparison for anyone that may be interested. Here he is next to Inferno in vehicle mode. So again, you guys could see how they fit in well. And again, this is the official Takara Masterpiece toy that came out a while back. Have them both in their vehicle modes. And I figure since, hey, ambulance, fire truck, kind of there in the same realm, and you guys can see they fit in really well. I will say, I think they do fit in really nice together. If you know, vehicle mode is sort of like your thing, again, these two go really well together. And then the last one that I had, because again, sticking with vehicle modes, is Red Alert. This is the older Masterpiece Red Alert, not the new one with the more animation colors. But I think this is where perhaps I see a bit of a issue with the scale. Not that it matters that much to me. I do think perhaps, I'm not sure how wider and longer a Countach was than an ambulance, but doesn't really matter much to me. I do think they do go really well. I think this is where you could see the difference in the colors being used, the white. This one's a bit more milky white, and this is more of a matte white. But again, I do think they do go well together. You guys can see them there. Nothing too bad or egregious. And yeah, here they all are in their vehicle modes. If you wanted to do some kind of I don't know, some kind of first aid rescue squad or something, you know, the Protectobots with the rest of the Autobots here. But again, they do go really well together. Okay, so before we wrap up, I just wanted to show my main reason for wanting to get these third-party MMC figures, other than Hasbro or Takara. Probably not going to give us any Masterpiece style toys anytime soon, at least G1 anyway. But I just want to show the arm mode here. First aid obviously is Defensor's limb. So again, this is supposedly the all-in-one built in, and it kind of is because the hand comes in part of the bot mode. So they do deliver on that promise, and this mode is again very, very solid. I kind of can't wait until the rest of the members come out so we can have a fully formed Defensor. But awesome job with the articulated fingers, the thumb here. This is all, as I said, it's part of the foot and of first aid's feet, and it comes together and it forms that hand there. So there is articulation there. The elbow, it's very stiff here as far as you wanting to move this in and out. So at least we know it'll be solid. And this kind of does turn as well. And this is the combiner port. I'm assuming this is what will go as part of the into Hotspot's torso. So, and then the instructions do say to take out this windshield and put it up like that, I guess for accuracy. I think when I do mine, I may just pretty much just like put it in place, maybe like that. But overall, this arm mode pretty much delivers on the all-in-one built-in, and it looks pretty accurate. Now, the one thing I wanted to show real quick here for anyone interested is here's MMC's Assaultus, Bruticus, and just sort of want to show you guys just maybe you can get a better idea of you know, what the arms will look like. Now, granted, from a realistic scale, I don't believe a helicopter would be the same size as a ambulance here, but again, it's transforming toys, so who really cares? But just want to show you guys there. And then also here you could see he's pretty similar in size to the shuttle guy there, which I forget his name, Blastoff. So yeah, it's going to look, I think, really well. Okay, guys, so just to wrap up the video, I would probably more than likely recommend this figure. I think is a really great representation of the character of First Aid. Obviously, I know it's not an official toy. I tend to always try and stick to official toys myself, but I think in this case, MMC and a lot of third-party companies are doing a great job bringing characters that otherwise are not available through official channels, which is the case with this guy. I know we did have, I think, again, Combiner Wars. They did a representation of this guy, but it wasn't really masterpiece style. And this is exactly what I'm going for. This is a great bot mode. It is a very accurate ambulance mode, and he looks really great as a limb. It makes me really excited again to be able to then get the rest of the Protectobot so we can have a proper Defensor. So yeah, definitely a great toy to have. And as you guys could see there, I think he fits in, as I said earlier, really well with the official MP figures. You guys can see him there hanging out with Inferno, Red Alert, and Ratchet. But overall, I would really recommend this guy. It's a great figure to have. And again, really looking forward to getting the whole set. Anyway, that'll be it for me. Hopefully you found this useful. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment if you made it to the end of the video. Again, thank you for spending your very valuable time with me. Really appreciate it. And again, enjoy the rest of your day. Be nice to each other and take care.